Welcome back to the SuperCoach Premium Show. My name is Paige and I'm joined by the two original boys again, Matt and Damon. Welcome, lads.
Matt
Damon again. And look, we are here to talk about the defenders of SuperCoach. I mean, we can get a bit of rage off our chest now because obviously we have been scrapped of just about every defender we've liked over the last couple of years. Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's just moved on.
Now we're just scavengers. We're scavenging through bins looking for bargains, and they just don't exist.
I feel like Taylor Swift writing a song about all these people leaving me. I mean,
we could probably do that.
Yeah.
We might try that.
Yeah.
But I mean, onto business. Instead of sort of crying about it, I guess we've got to figure something out.
Yeah.
And
there's a couple of players.
There are.
Let me help you out there, Paige.
Okay. Well,
premium players though. Don't know about the bargains, but the premiums I can help you out with. And one player plays for my glorious side, Carlton. Kade Simpson.
Dun.
Yep. He's priced at 512,800, and his average is 95.41. You're putting me off, Paige. 95.41 is his average of last season. But you've got to get on him because
he's a walk-up start.
He is a walk-up start. He's a set-and-forget type player. And he averages numbers that a midfielder should get.
Yep.
So he's fantastic. Got to get on him for that reason. And just on his average, over the past few years, he's averaged over 90 in his past 6 seasons straight, playing all games, every single game, bar 2. So he's consistent and he's durable. So he's just fantastic. So
SuperCoach lock.
Got to get on him.
There's another player as well that I was really big on a couple of years ago. Didn't really get onto him that much last year, although I thought he was a certain starter, but he had injuries and such. But Michael Hibberd, I mean, what's he priced at this year?
He is priced at 491,500, and last year he averaged 91.44. So, of course, with the lack of premium options and sort of any sort of option in defence, he's one to consider. And he was slightly down on his average last season in comparison to that prior. So he averaged 91 last year, but 95 the year prior, but still thereabouts. So in the 90s, not too bad, considering his price tag. And he was one player, given that consistency I just spoke about. He scored above 80 in all games, bar 3. So you want someone of that consistency.
Don't mind him. Under 500 grand as well. I like that from a price point.
Absolutely. So get on him. And he played all 22 games in 2013 and 18 in 2014. So his durability matches his consistency. So
I like it.
Those are the two boxes you need to tick when selecting players.
And they're both in your side at the moment.
Absolutely.
There you go. And I reckon someone that's been talked about a lot this pre-season in terms of hype, and we get one of these each year, and I think we've found one in the defence. Jack Newnes, you are all over him, aren't you?
I am, that's right. He only averaged 81.2 last year, and he's priced at 436,800 because of it. But he's set to really be one of the most selected defenders for the year because each year he keeps getting more and more midfield time. It went from like 20-something% in 2013 to 43%, I think, in 2014. And he's training to get more muscle and more fitness base to really move more permanently into that midfield role. And players like Lee Montagna, they're not getting any younger, so he's going to get more time in there. He came first in their most recent time trial, which really shows off the speed and fitness that he has. And I think in the past few years, he's been in the top 12 for people that have increased their SuperCoach scores for the past few years. So hopefully he keeps that trend up again because that would be really good for us. And I think he's just really set for a breakout year. He's coming into his 4th year now, so that's the really...
And he's so affordable as well.
Yeah,
when you look at it in terms of like projected score, I mean, what would you expect for him to average this year? What would be...
Take a 95.
I'd certainly take a 95 for someone that starts that cheap, for sure. I mean, with him, I like as well that when he has been played in defence, he's just the go-to man for the Saints coming out of the back half. He's such a slick user. I love it. He's just a quality user of the ball, and that's probably why he's been released into the midfield and we expect more time. So, I mean, sure, I reckon Newnes, if you can fit him in there, or you should probably make room for him because he's definitely starting off on a very good wicket, I would imagine. But another one as well. Looking at on the comeback trail, Garrick Ibbotson. I reckon he'd almost be the forgotten man of SuperCoach.
And He's one of my favourites. He's my boy.
I
Garrick
think everyone has a bit of a soft spot for Ibbo.
Definitely.
I sure do.
You know how I like scrounging for, the bargains.
You're a
and
bit
that
of a
sort
cheapskate.
thing. Yeah, I am.
Super Jew.
Yeah,
You are.
I'm not Jewish. But he really had an injury-plagued 2014, and in 2013, which was his career best Supercoach year, he scored, I think, 94.5 as an average. So that really shows what he's capable of. But the thing you really need to be looking at with Ibbotson, he's priced at $342,900, by the way, is if Luke McFarlane or Michael Johnson are playing, because when they're not, he really has to try and shoulder the load of what the team is missing out on. So he gets into a more of a lockdown role. So you really need to look at if those guys are playing, then select Ibbotson. If not, maybe be a bit more hesitant about it.
We'd be hoping that Johnson and McFarlane actually stay injury-free and this year. That'd mean good things for Supercoach, especially Ibbotson owners.
Definitely.
The one thing that scares me off, and you mentioned it, Joyce, as well, is his injury history. And I don't think he's played a full season for the past 3 years.
He'll be fine.
So
at that price, though,
but yeah, as you say,
he's better than Higgins.
He's better than Higgins, and Higgins is priced, what, 60 grand more than...
Yeah, 410.
I'd take Ibbotson in a heartbeat. I reckon Freo will be up there this year.
You've got to take the gamble with a lack of defenders.
I like it. I definitely like it. Well, I mean, having a look in terms of locks and to, really fork out your hard-earned, I think this guy's got to be top of your list. Nick Malceski, I mean, if there was any stat for a defender last year, he basically won it. He ranked first for, rebound 50s, intercept marks in the back half, disposal efficiency is through the roof. One thing, and I think we really, really need to highlight for Supercoaches out there, is that with Malceski, he has a kick-to-handball ratio that is of the highest in the competition. It is 3-1. Yeah. Now, if you don't understand what that means, I'll put it very plain and simply for you. After every 3 kicks, he's having 1 handball.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about someone who's averaging, and then he averaged last year, let me have a look here. He averaged 24 disposals per game. That is a ridiculous amount. And talking about a player who hits targets 73% of the time, so his efficiency's through the roof, his effective disposals also through the roof.
18 kicks, 6 handballs.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you, mathematician. It's freakish. And considering he has that tendency to creep up the ground, he actually rated number 1 for defenders for inside 50s. So that's just ridiculous. He averaged 3.6 inside 50s. He's not shy of kicking a goal. He does get, thrown for Sydney anyway. He was used, obviously, predominantly across half-back, but more so, you had those stints where he'd play on the wing, win a mountain of the ball, and with Malceski, you just know what you're getting with him, and it's a reason why he's the most expensive defender this year. But at Gold Coast, he has made a huge impression there. He's in their leadership group. He is going to be the go-to man for the Suns' defence, which I think is going to be cool because someone like a Jared Harbrow, I think, might really enjoy being freed up a bit there, and that could really do his scoring quite well. But look, it's going to be very interesting. For me, Malceski, he's a must-start.
Yeah.
Must-start for money. You don't have really much to choose from, but if you're going to fork out the hard-earned, you've got to do it on Malceski, I think, with him. But look, another one as well, and I do love him. I really do. We broke up for a little while, Heath Shaw and I, but we've gotten back together. It's quite all sunny and roses. We're drinking wine together along the Yarra.
He's in the Never Again club for me.
Yeah, well, you know what? Listen to me. He should be on everyone's list this year. He comes in at 497,000 and has a 92 average. Now, considering how yo-yo his year was last year, that is a very, very good figure in terms of an average. Now, with Shawry, he played 18 games last year and 7 of those scores were of over 100 Supercoach points. And 4 of those 7 actually were over 120. So, a bit of vintage scoring there for old mate Heater. Now, obviously, he did struggle a little bit early on with the Giants, adjusting to his new environment, but I think this year he's going to go one better. And we're talking about these GWS guys. We've said, obviously, so often throughout the pre-season episodes so far, there's so much to like about the GWS kids this year that I think Shaw's going to find another level. I think he's going to go back to that 2012, 2013 form where he was scoring those big 115-plus games per week. Now, look, a lot of Supercoach experts are calling him a must-start as well. We'll go through a couple of reasons why. From 18 games... hang on, what have we got here? So 18 games, there were only 3 games which he scored under 80. that is a very consistent. I mean, like we said, those 3 games, one was actually due to injury, remember he got knocked out cold, and that was the end of him. And the other 2 were pretty horrible games that GWS just got absolutely towed up. So, really, in hindsight, you're looking at a player who, although it was a bit, hit and miss through the year, still had a pretty good average and was still consistent with his scoring. Look, like I said, whilst it's speculative, I think another year at the Giants means he's going to probably blossom. I think it's the same with a lot of players that spent their first year last year. I think Buddy's going to have a better year and those sorts of guys, and perhaps we might see the opposite of Malceski. Yeah. Who knows? But I think Shaw definitely, he's definitely in my side at the moment, along with Simpson and Malceski.
Yeah, you mentioned Joyce. He was on your never again list. Now he was on my never again list, but I've had to since tear that up and reevaluate my options because the fact there's no defenders means that I'm going to have to fall back on him. And he's been out of my side the past 3 seasons because of that.
There you go.
He
gets a reprieve.
He gets a reprieve thanks to the SuperCoach system as it stands at the moment with lack of defenders. So
thanks, guys.
He's got a reprieve.
But look, a couple of players we'll quickly touch on. Now, Matthew Jensch last year went bonkers. He played pretty much every game. Remember when he teased the world and said, trade me out? People got rid of him, played the same week.
He's had himself in his own team.
I know, and we actually found out that reason he did that is because he was actually looking to go for the SuperCoach glory. He's a big SuperCoach head. So, funnily enough, he tried to set us all up, but we're not that stupid. Anyway, 481k, he had a ripping breakout year last year. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to at least match what he did last year or go another level, it's probably going to hinge on the fact that we've got guys like Andy Otten and Ricky Henderson that come back into the Adelaide side. So how much that he shoulders of that go-to man from defence is probably going to be left up in the air for a bit. That's probably why I'm not touching him at this stage. I think he's a great talent, and really, in terms of SuperCoach, we knew what he was capable of last year. So, I mean, for me, someone to consider. But Sean Burgoyne. Now, this guy, he's getting better and better each year, and he's almost 33 or something. He had his most consistent season in SuperCoach last year. 14 times out of 22, he scored over 90 SuperCoach points. That is ridiculous. He does float under the radar because obviously there's guys like Hodge, Mitchell, Suckling, Lewis, those types of guys that obviously are going to be looked at first before Burgoyne does. But he was really damaging last year. Obviously consistency was through the roof, especially with his disposal efficiency as well.
He
plus
just doesn't
70.
play a bad game.
No, not at all. But I mean, at the moment, he's been averaging between 110 and 115 since 2011. So you're looking at a guy who's obviously, we always say that once they hit that 28, 29 age, that's when they sort of start to sort of fall back.
Yeah.
Burgoyne's done the opposite, and he's getting better and better and better. So, I mean, if you're looking at someone like him, I mean, go for it. Doesn't get that horrible round 12 bye either, which is pretty handy.
Yeah, and there's a couple of players we should mention as well that are probably on everyone's radar, but they're a bit of a risk. Beau Waters, he's definitely one of those players. Even, I think everyone will probably have him, Hugh Goddard as well. He's probably, you'd say he'd be guaranteed a spot most weeks, and I think he'll...
Even someone will throw in is Braden Maynard as well.
Maynard,
we'll follow up with him, but just keep him on the nose. Yeah. I did say the same thing about Langdon last year, and look how good that worked out. Yeah, that's right.
That's about it for another episode.
Right. But that is all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back shortly with some episodes on the value picks and the rookies. So that's going to be a great episode to catch up with. But until then, we are the SuperCoach Premiums. We are the guys who want on your side.